I'm gonna let you see what it is before I do. Hey, welcome back to today's video. I'm so excited. I get to unwrap another book from my wrap TBR. I got really backed up last month, so Something Blue, I have started it. I'm actually a little bit further than this because I also got it on audiobook, and I was listening to it yesterday because I was working and I couldn't physically read it, so I got started on it by audiobook. So I'm like maybe like 40% done with it, so that's good. It's a good start. I did not finish it this month, which I was really bummed out about, but I had a lot happening. I did some traveling, and just like a lot was going on, as you probably have already seen in previous videos that I've posted, since this is going to be coming out towards the end of March. I always have to try to keep that in mind. I don't ever really keep that in mind, so I'm really excited because today we get to open book number 3. This feels like it's a hardcover, and to be honest with you, like I remember picking all the books out and everything, but like I can't remember which one was hardcover and which wasn't. And yeah, I remember like a handful of books that are in here, but I've been trying not to like look at my list of like what was actually in here so that I don't give it away for myself. So I really have no idea which book number 3 is, but I'm really excited to find out, and I can't wait to open this, so let's open it. Okay. I'm gonna let you see what it is before I do. It's The Murder Room. Okay, that's cool. I'm excited about this one. I was a little like, didn't really think I was ever really gonna start this, but then after I had put this in the mix, I had read a little bit more on this book, and it's actually kind of like a thriller mystery, like whodunit, like almost like that game Clue where you have to figure out who did the murder. So I feel like it's gonna be like super fun, fast paced, and I'm gonna be really wanting to figure out like what's gonna happen in the end of the book. So I'm really excited that I just picked this one. Let's check the page count. It is 392 pages, so good little stack of pages here, but I'm excited. I can't wait to jump into this. I am going to finish Something Blue first, since that was first, but once I finish with this, I'll get started on this one, and I will let you know as I go along how it is. You just watched me pick The Murder Room as my wrapped TBR of the month, and I have started reading this. I have gotten about 3 chapters in, which is 30 pages, and I like normally I really try to finish books, and I was feeling so much pressure to read this and finish this one because it was my wrap TBR, and I like was telling myself I was absolutely going to have to read it if it was my wrap TBR. But let me just make some excuses for myself here. I like have no idea what I'm reading. I don't remember any of the names of the characters. I don't remember what the heck is going on. They jump around so much from past to present that like I just cannot keep the storyline straight, and they're just not doing a very good job with all of that. And then the character building is like non-existent, so they're just throwing characters at you and you're just supposed to know who they are, and I have no clue who any of them are. I can't even give you one of their names. Yeah, basically all that I've gotten out of this book is that there's this museum that has a room in it that's called the Murder Room, and it's about murders that have happened in the past, and then they talk about some lady that got murdered, and I don't know if that's present time, if that's past time, or what. And then there was just like a whole lot of other like, just like, it felt like I was sitting in a history lesson, and I hated history class. So to be honest, I'm going to have to DNF this, and I feel horrible about it because it was my wrap TBR and I really wanted to read this, but I'm gonna have to DNF it, and I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I just couldn't do it. I gave it like such a good shot. So this is just gonna go sit over here now on my shelf of my wrap TBR, and I'm just gonna know that I didn't finish that. I didn't read it, and let this just be like your notice that if you are reading a book that you really don't like and you can't get into it and it's just confusing you and you just like, it's like a history lesson and you don't like history, like put it down. You don't have to finish it. Like reading should be fun. It shouldn't be something you feel like you have to do. So I was kind of like worried that I didn't know what else to do for this video, but last year, in 2022, I kept swearing to myself that I was going to read this book, and I will show you why in a moment, but I was swearing myself I was going to read it, and it is kind of thick. I think it's like, it's about 500 pages, so it's a thick one, and I've heard so many amazing things about this book. I bought this last year, like the beginning of 2022, and I swore to myself literally the whole year that I was going to read it, and it just didn't happen. And it has been on my TBR, like I write a TBR every month for myself just to kind of give myself like a track and see where I'm going. And anyway, it has been on my TBR every month of this new year as well, and I have yet to read it. So I thought for this video I would read this book instead of The Murder Room, since I just can't get into The Murder Room. And I have already started this, and I am happy to say I am about 45% done with this, and I know that because I put it in my Goodreads. And it was very graphic, and there was a lot happening in the very beginning, but it was gripping, and I just needed to know what was gonna happen. I like briefly considered not reading it because it was so graphic, but once I got past that, and then we really got into the story of it, it got really good really fast, and I have not really been able to put it down. I've pretty much been reading this for the past like 4 days straight, and I'm really actually enjoying it. I love the characters. There's 2 sisters in this book, and they have this horrific event happen when they're children that just like bonds them together so strongly, but it's also pushing them apart because there's things that are happening that one sister doesn't agree with, and the one sister kind of put her other sister first during this horrific event and wanted her sister to survive instead of herself. So she kind of feels like her sister's now wasting her life, and it's really bothering her. There's so much more to it than just that, but that's just kind of like a brief quick breakdown of the first, let me see, 200 pages. I'm about 200 pages in. So I'm going to continue reading this. I'll do a little film of me reading, vlogging, that kind of thing. And then as I get a little bit further in, maybe another 100 pages or so, I will give you another update and tell you what I'm thinking about it. And then at the end, I'm going to give you my final thoughts. And then you will have to come back next month to see me actually read a Wrap TBR book, because I just couldn't do it this month. But if you would like to see any of my previous videos, make sure you check them out. They are in the description, both links. I think there's 3 of them now. And yeah, thanks for hanging out again today and coming along on this Wrap TBR journey. I'm having so much fun reading this, and let's go read. So this is why I've been really wanting to read this book. I made this shelf when I bought books at the beginning of 2022, and these were the books that I bought, and I really wanted to see how many I could read. So the Good Daughter book is right here. I don't know if you can really read that, if it's legible, right there. And I accidentally highlighted that one when I was going through and checking off books I had already read. So that was one of the main reasons why I really wanted to read this book. And now I'm really happy that I'm reading it. And also, I just wanted to show you, it shows up on a lot of my TBRs from last year. I was really thinking I was going to definitely read it, and it just didn't happen. There it is again on another TBR. And here is my 2023 reading journal. And let me just show you my TBRs here. Here it is, my January TBR, February TBR, March TBR, Did I not put it on my March TBR? I didn't, because I didn't think I was gonna read it. So I kind of gave up. And then my April one, I've actually already made, even though it's still March, and there it is. So I'm so happy to be reading it now. Finally stop putting it on all my TBRs. Another day, and I have completely finished The Good Daughter. I know I said I would come back and give you my thoughts like in another 100 pages or so, but I just went ahead and just finished it. And honestly, the last, I don't know, 300 pages of this book, I couldn't put it down. I needed to know what was going to happen. It was insane, this book. I am so glad that I finally read this and that I finally forced myself to read this, and I didn't just take it off my TBR and be like, nope, I'm not going to read it. So this is replacing The Murder Room, which we DNF'd, which was my wrapped book this month. And I wish this was the wrapped book, because then I could say how amazing it was. But I don't know where to even start with this. I rated it 4 stars. I did that because there was a lot to this book. Obviously, it is pretty thick. It is over 500 pages, and it starts out very graphic. And I know I just talked about this, so I'm not going to really talk about that. But that is repeated a couple different times, because we had different victims from that situation, and they kind of both repeated their own trauma in their head a lot. So you kind of have to relive that graphicness a lot in this book, and that is why it did not get 5 stars from me, because it was just a lot. And I know the author really wanted to portray what happened and paint a picture for you and let you know what happened, but like the repetitiveness of it was really kind of a lot, and it was kind of rough to read. But other than that, the rest of the book had me completely on the edge of my seat, needing to know what was going to happen, needing to know how this played out. So we go through this horrific event and all this trauma in the very beginning of the book, and then we continue on with it, and it just morphs into this whole other story that like the beginning is still very relevant to. And then we go into this other horrific event that happens. It's a school shooting, and our character is involved in it. She's there at the site when it happens, so that's even more trauma for her to deal with. And it's like a mystery as well, because they thought that they knew who the shooter was, and they had their suspect, and like it was like a closed case and everything, but the character just didn't really feel right about it, and neither did I as a reader reading it. I was like, there's something like fishy with this. I don't feel like that's right there all the way. So I kind of kept it in the back of my mind, and I was just like kind of trying to figure out if maybe there was anybody else that could have done it, or what exactly was going to happen, how it was going to play out. It had me guessing the entire book, and the ending wow, didn't see coming at all. Took me for a loop, that's for sure. I was not expecting how this book turned out. I was like, wait, what happened? What? No way. So if you're looking for a mystery whodunit thriller, roller coaster, insane ride, that you literally just need to know what happens start to end, I would definitely suggest this book. I'm so happy I read it, and I'm happy that it ended up being the book I made for the video so that I could share it with you as well. And I would highly recommend you go read this if any of those things apply to you, and how you like to read books. I'm really excited that I finally read this, and I'm kind of bummed out that Murder Room was a no-go, but Also, it is okay to DNF books. There are so many books in so little time. So it just shows you I DNF'd this one. This one had been on my list for so long and I replaced it, and I feel really good about that decision. So make sure that if you are not liking a book or just not connecting with it, like, it's okay to put it down and pick something else up. Not every book is for everyone. So that is it for this video, and make sure you check back next month at some point. This next series video will be out, hopefully in the end of April. This one was a little bit late, but I'm glad I finally actually got it out there. The next book, actually, I'm not going to show you the next book. That was a trick. I'm going to open it on camera for you, and you're gonna find out in the next episode what the next book is. But let me just say, I am very excited about the next book. And make sure you check out my Instagram and all my socials. They're all linked below if you're interested in that. And also there's a new video here every single week on Friday, so make sure you check back for that and subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And also leave me a comment because I love interacting with you. And that is all I have for you for this episode for today. And make sure you go check out another video, and I will see you hopefully very soon. Bye.